In the Gasland discussion, you heard panelists speak about how Marcellus Shale is affecting neighborhoods like Lincoln Place in the West Mifflin area of Pittsburgh. One of the panelists invited us to her house, and she showed us some land that's already been leased by a natural gas company. Let's take a look. All right, guys, so let me just turn the radio down. Whoa. All right, so I'm arriving in Lincoln Place. This is a residential area where drilling companies are starting to lease or, kind of sell leases to people in this neighborhood. As you can see, there's a lot of land in this neighborhood, and I do not condone driving while filming. So I'm going to meet with these two people. One's name is Gene. The other guy I do not know. He's going to show me around, but it's Gene's husband. And they were approached by a gas company that they did not mention, but they were kind of approached, and we're just going to kind of get there. Sorry, I want to show you everything. Just kind of their take on gas companies are doing, especially in their neighborhood. So stay tuned. Okay, you said we're 3 houses away from
the city
limits?
end of the city limits, and that street right there, which is Apdale. When you cross over there, there's about 14 acres sitting there. There's a baseball field and a slag dump, which has been under a brown field kind of reestablishment to use it again. And West Mifflin says they want to build a soccer complex here, but everybody in the neighborhood is not seeing that in writing anywhere, and we're pretty skeptical that this 11 or 14 acres or whatever it is probably going to have a gas derrick on it one of these days with a 4-acre frac pond. This is where a lot of people walk their dogs up here.
So what makes Lincoln Place so worthy of?
I think because it's a neighborhood that is vast with acreage.
Right.
That's just sitting around. And this baseball field here was a pony league field 5 years ago. There were regular baseball games, and this baseball field was upkept and taken care of. But now they have trouble getting anybody to play baseball here because the Pony League handed it over to West Mifflin, and hardly anybody plays here anymore. So West Mifflin is telling the community that that's okay. We're going to turn this into a soccer complex. Now, this is the baseball field you just saw. On the back side of the baseball field is the top of the slag dump, where they have done the brownfield. The process of brownfield incorporation is where they take ground that's probably toxic or not healthy, and they treat it and do things to it over, a 5 or 15-year process sometimes, depending on the ground. But this is the acreage on the other side of the field, and you can look, the houses are right there. So if you take the ball field and all this property back here, there's plenty of room here.
Yeah, there's a lot of land.
There's plenty of room here for a drill rig. And I just want you to get a shot from over here because you'll see over here, this is Mifflin Road or Buttermilk Hollow Road, they call it down here.
Mifflin? Oh, yeah, this is the road.
Buttermilk Hollow.
It's a lot of land here.
So that's Buttermilk Hollow. I don't know if you've
That's
ever
Mifflin
gone
Road.
by there.
Yeah, I come like when I'm on my way to Walmart.
Yeah,
I think.
exactly. So you see the slag mountain. So as we come around here, there's a runoff, I guess a deposit runoff for the slag dump that I asked questions about 4 years ago. They did work to find that I guess the the leach pond that they require.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll show you over here. There's a company called Standard Lafarge. You can see them back in here.
Yeah,
They're the ones that own this slag dump.
Okay.
So they're done with it, they say. They handed it over to West Mifflin. West Mifflin says they're going to take the ball field in this acreage and they're going to make a soccer field out of it, or soccer complex. Well, when I called them and asked them about that, they always say they're waiting on something, and it's never clear what they're waiting for. But all I can tell you is they haven't started building a soccer complex back here. Now, when you look down here, you'll see that is the leach pond, where it's a series of ponds that they put in. And I called Standard Lafarge one day, and they said that is all under DEP regulation. They did it the way, there was a DEP person who made sure that this is the way it should be done. And you know, that'll be easy to turn into a frack pond. So you can see there's Standard Lafarge over there. They're the people that own this slag dump. Now, I don't know how many acres they own, whether it's 200, 400, but they definitely have enough room over there to put their own drill rigs. So if you look back where I live...
What kind of company is that, by the way?
That is they process slag and rock and make cement, I believe.
Okay. All right.
And here's all the slag that we're on top of that, you know, they've put tons and tons of dirt over this to do the brownfield thing, you know? You know what a brownfield is?
No.
It's what they do at mill sites, or where Century 3 is and all that. That's all slag. That has to be brownfield processed, where they take years and years to dump dirt on top of it and treat it, make certain things grow, plant certain kind of indigenous plants that'll grow to bring the...
So it's a process to...
It's a process. Brownfield is a process to take the toxic, or at least bury the toxic chemicals, I guess, you know, make it safe for habitation or use again for recreation or whatever. And this is a brownfield right here. This is what they're doing. So, and you see the houses right there, how close they are. There's the ball field. Here's the
neighborhood.
So we're looking at about, you know, I guess about 10 or 15 acres somewhere in there, including all this down here.
Okay.
So
it's a lot of land.
Yeah. So, and this is three houses from my house to get here. So, but you see why we're concerned about this area.
Yeah. So wait, how many houses, like, around about are in Lincoln Place, would you say? Maybe
I couldn't tell you houses, but what I can tell you is what's different out here. It's rural, because even though it's city, like we're not in the city anymore. As soon as we crossed that street there, we crossed over into this is all West Mifflin now.
Okay.
So,
so do you know how many people have started to lease or sign leases?
Yeah, well, that's on that map. If
If
you look
I
at
have to
that
look
map,
into it.
that's going to show you how many. Now, if you look at this ridge up here, that is the back acreage of, that's the 65-acre farm right there.
Oh, okay.
So, and we're going to go over there and look. But if you look back in there, that's all Standard Lafarge back. Couldn't tell you how many acres they have. They have a ton of space. And I've heard rumors around here are that they are looking at leasing some of their land for drilling.
Okay.
So this is all very close to our house. And this is why we're concerned. And all this can tell you is, you know, you come into our neighborhood, you should get a picture of the signs, the drilling signs. Did you see the no drilling signs?
I didn't.
My neighbors have them.
Okay.
And we're going to put our own up one of these days, because we want ours to be a little special, because we've been in, you know, smelling this rat for a year now. And I don't want to be rude to the other neighbors, but I think we know a lot more.
Oh, okay.
And they know, we know really how bad it is. And it's a lot worse. I hate to say it. It's a lot worse than what neighbors think it is. It's a lot closer. And it's a lot... so, Justin, if you look at all this property, This is property that's in limbo that West Mifflin has. That's 3 houses, 3 doors down from my property. And we're worried about them putting a drill rig here, because I'm telling you what, they've been doing aerial reconnaissance for the last few years, flying over these neighborhoods. The thing about West Mifflin is, there is, because it's rural, there is less people per acre, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of open land here. And as we come up here, this is a definite lease sign right here. This gentleman over here sits on 3 acres. He signed a subsurface lease. Well, we think it's a subsurface. I don't think they can fit a frac head on 3 acres. Maybe they can. I don't know. We haven't been updated on that kind of technology. So, but as we come out of this street here, you'll see how rural it is around here, and that is why. And it's there's a lot of second and third generation in this neighborhood. People that have passed their property along from generation to generation. You know, it's a nice neighborhood. The property values aren't real high.
Yeah.
People, the demographic here, the people, you know, exist on a pretty low income base around here. So there's not, this isn't a very affluent neighborhood. So I think that's one of the reasons this neighborhood's a target, because
the residents are kind of uninformed.
Yeah, well, they're uninformed, and they don't make a whole lot of money in this neighborhood.
Yeah, so they
exist on a very low income base. So, you know, I'm not saying that this is a poor neighborhood, but this property has been handed over. This is second and third generation right here on this corner. That house sits on 3 acres. That house sits on 2 acres. This house sits on 3 acres. So, and these properties, you know, they exist pretty easily, but, you know, they've been coming around here waving checks in their faces and saying they can make a lot of money doing stuff. So,